Hello everyone, my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel, Let's Talk with LaPrecious. So today I will be talking to you all about my experience of going to a psychic, as well as my experience of just living life and realizing when it's time to move on. Okay, you guys, so I've been interested in supernatural things. I've been interested in crystals, 7-day candle magic, just a lot of things that have to deal with the supernatural powers. And so I decided to go to a psychic yesterday in Greensboro because I just really wanted to gain some understanding and some closure about a few things going on in my life. Now, one thing I will tell you is that when I wanted to go to a psychic, I went on Google, looked up some psychics in Greensboro. I live in Winston-Salem, but I'm going to be honest with you all. I am not a fan of Winston-Salem because I feel like a lot of the restaurants here are redundant. They're always either fast food, Mexican, Italian. We hardly have any soul food restaurants, Chinese, Japanese. I mean, it's the same old, same old. And I don't understand why won't anybody come up with anything different to bring it more variety. Then, so I did see some psychics in town. There's the Kindred Spirits one in downtown Winston-Salem, and then there's a psychic reader up here off Country Club. And I'm like, I really don't want to go to these people because I'm not really seeing a lot of reviews for them. And I'm picky when I go to people for services, whether it's food, nails, clothing. If you don't have a 4.0 or above, I'm not coming to you. Now, if you got a 4.5 and a 5.0, then you got me. But if it's anything below a 5.0 or 4.5 or 4.2, 4.0 stars, I'm not coming to you. You're not getting my money. Because when I have to pay money for a service, especially if it's dealing with supernatural things where it's something that I need a clear understanding on as to know how to move on with my life and do what I need to do. I'm not gonna go to some psycho wacko that's telling me all of this stuff just to get my money because I've looked on Google and some cycles they had terrible reviews where people commented and complained, said they were cheated out of their money and everything. But moving along to my psychic experience, it was nice and it was pleasant. And she told it to me like it was. And everything that she said was really dead on the head. I had questions about love. I had questions about life. I had questions about family. And she pretty much gave me a clear understanding of what was done. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what we discussed because I believe that whenever you have a godly experience or a psychic experience or even a supernatural experience, sometimes it's good to share and sometimes it's not. So I believe that I won't share what I've experienced until after the fact or until after the things that I've been praying for and the things that I've been seeking and understanding for come to pass. And that way, when I explain it to you all, it'll all come together. But when I was with the psychic, yes, she did use tarot cards. Yes, she did use crystals. And there are different things that tie into going to a psychic, like crystals, prayer, meditation, tarot cards, and things of that nature. Now, I'm glad that she was a Christian psychic because a lot of times Christians they always associate psychics and mediums and fortune tellers and soothsayers with the devil. Now, one thing I will say, you do have a lot of psychics out here that claim to be psychic or prophets or prophetess or just people who can help people see the other side of life or speak to the dead or speak to the unknown. And all they're doing is just robbing people blind of their money, selling them false hope. But with this lady, I believe her because she made sense. A lot of the stuff she read out to me was accurate. And I believe in psychics because even though I'm Christian, I believe that psychics are real because in the Bible it does say God does give people the gift of prophecy. And prophecy is when you can see into the future. And the psychic I spoke to talked about Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit and how you have to seek his will over yours. And so I think a lot of people sometimes they have a misconception about psychics about psychics because I feel like people associate a lot of things that they hear about and see from pop culture and TV and music and hearsay instead of actually reading about what things are and and where they come from and the origin and how things are done in that culture and that set lifestyle and then what people, choose to do and what they believe in. And then you just have some people who just want to take stuff for how it's being taught to them, even if it's wrong, and just rock with it. And my thing is, if you believe in being ignorant and ignorance is your stamp of identity, you can have that, but it's not going to be mine. But this psychic was dead on. She was very accurate in her reading, and she pretty much did a good job. Now, one thing I will say, I did have to pay for her services. I'm not going to discuss how much I paid, and I'm not going to discuss the prices that she does offer because I think it's best for you guys to really do some research and see which psychics that you would be interested in and whatnot and talking to, and that way you can find one that fits for you. She fits for me, and I'm very pleased with the work that she did with me yesterday. And I think I would just like to keep a lot of the things that we talked about and discuss under wraps, including the price, because I agreed to that price, and that was a price that I was pleased with. And I feel like that's between me and her, how much I paid for her services and what she included in those services that I haven't mentioned. And moving along from being with the psychic yesterday, I want to talk about the importance of moving on and moving forward in life. The reason why I talk about this is because I went to a very, very, very delicious Dominican restaurant in Greensboro called La Palma. That food was so good. I had a plate called La Bandera. And to those of you who are not familiar with Dominican food, La Bandera is the plate where you have like the white rice and the chicken and the red beans, because they say like the decoration of the plate is like the flag, with the red, the blue, and the white and the emblem in the middle. And so, that's what the plate is. And I had some water because I am currently on a diet. My goal weight loss is to lose at least 30 pounds at the most. So, and you guys know, if you're Dominican or if you eat Hispanic food, Dominican food is very hearty. Like if you want to get boobs, butt, hips, or just get fat, eating plenty of Dominican food will get you there because they love to eat a lot of starch, a lot of meat, a lot of fried stuff. Some of it is a little greasy and hearty, but other than that, I picked the best thing that I could get, which was the bandera plate, because I got the baked chicken and I got the white rice and the salad and I got the beans, and then I did get the pollito de yuca, which was really good because it tasted just like a cheese stick, like a mozzarella stick. And I'm like, I could eat a whole plate of these, but I just ate one because that wouldn't have been healthy. And then I had just a glass of water with it. But moving along from the food, I saw a classmate there that I went to school with, a couple of years back, and we were talking on and off because he was there with his girlfriend. And, he was just talking about, where people ended up that we went to school with and where he was. And I mentioned where I was. And, and it's like, it's good to have friends from the past, especially, classmates, middle school, high school, elementary school, college. But sometimes in life, you just realize that when you go to school, you learn more than what you knew before going to school. You go to church or you go to different events, you just travel and become a more aware person. You start to see people in a different light. And that's what I'm saying with him because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with keeping up with people from the past, but if these people are not talking to you or associating with themselves with you, then that means, it's time to move on. And I'm not, fake or phony and whatnot, but I've learned from picking up on people's vibes and picking up on people's energies and whatnot when they meet different people and get into new opportunities, new jobs, new ways of living and whatnot. Their attitudes can be a lot different because I had a friend who was really good friends with this girl, and he's a guy. And as soon as she got married, She changed. She stopped talking to him. She stopped associating herself with him and everything. And even though it's wrong to an extent, I believe that some people from your past you do have to leave behind, because sometimes we as people we get a little offended and we feel some type of way. But when you think about it, if you know that this person you're meeting up with is the exact same way that they were 10, 15 years ago when you first met them, and you know that that's not somewhere where you want to be and want to revert back to, why would you associate with them? And then not only that, but if you are a person that seems to think a lot differently, you don't do the same old hanky panky stuff, you have a better perspective on life and whatnot, why would you want to associate yourself with people that are from a place where you've outgrown and where you've become more mature? Now, as far as myself, I'm not fake. I'm not phony. I believe in talking to people from my past and conversating and whatnot. But if they're a person from my past that wasn't that beneficial to me and they did more harm than good, then yeah, it is best to leave them in the past. And sometimes it's just best to leave people where they're at. But at the same time, sometimes you have to realize that, okay, this is what it is, and you just have to move on from that. Now, what I'm saying in reference to myself and the guy I saw yesterday, I remember when we was in school, people used to say, oh, you like him and he likes you, blah, blah, blah. And we never went there. At the time, I didn't want to, because my mindset about dating and relationships was way different than it is now. And when you're young, when you're a teenager, and when you don't get out as much and you're not taught as much about relationships, you kind of have to go through trial and tribulation to know where you are with relationships. And so that's what that was back then. And when I saw him, I even thought about that, but he was there, with his girlfriend and everything. And I've been told that, maybe it could happen, we could have that possibility, or maybe we could have that opportunity again. But I'm not the type of person that just sits and waits, I wonder how many years it's going to take them to come back and give me a chance, because it's not always about what you think and what you believe and feel. You have to think about what the other person believes and feels too. Yeah, we may have had that opportunity in the past to date, but it's like now things have changed and things are different. And plus, even though you have some people who have that thought, well, I wonder what it was like to be, what it would have been like to be with him, her, this, that, and the third. But then they got somebody else now, and my thing is, they're going to think about the here and now and not try to go back, because, like I mentioned before, when you try to go back and rekindle stuff, you ignite old feelings and reminiscences and stuff. And then you find yourself in a place where you're living in the past and not living in the present. And, a lot of times you just have to, in situations like this, you just have to let people go. And I feel like I need to let that go and not even hold on to that possibility. Because even when I was, talking to him and whatnot in between the girlfriend, how people sometimes they kind of respond and don't respond. And there's kind of like you get half of their attention because they're with somebody and this, that, and the third. And I've just learned that whenever I meet a man from my past that knows me and recognizes me, he's there with somebody, I keep the conversation at a bare minimum. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good, blah, blah, blah. And then I leave, because it's like, I know I wouldn't want it done to me, because if I'm a single woman talking to a man in a married relationship, I'm not going to sit here and reminisce and we hash it out, blah, blah, blah. And the girlfriend sitting right there and, we trying to rekindle stuff. And, that's just how my mind is. Other people think differently and whatnot, but I just understand how people are nowadays, that people are not as understanding and not as easygoing or really that inclusive anymore, because people will see you as a threat. If they see you with somebody that's, they're cool with, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, they're not going to open up that door or even leave a crack for you to try to slide in and maneuver something, and to get in with them. So, I said, it was good seeing him. It was a coincidence that, I did see him and whatnot, but, it's like, that's what it was, we're going to leave it right there. And I'll just let that go and, move on and live my life and whatnot, because I really learned from praying and going to the psych yesterday that I do need to move on from my past. And I have in some ways, but I feel like I need to move on from it entirely, because you can't expect to go to new places and go to new heights and you still holding on to stuff that should have been left in the past. It was really meant to be there and to stay there. And I just feel like when it comes to my life, because I do feel that the feeling that's been hitting in me for a minute has been I'm not complete, because I'm not where I would like to be in my life at the moment, because there are things that I want to do, nature wise, travel wise, career wise, and whatnot, and I'm still not there. And I know for a fact that once I get there, I'll be content. Some of you may know, may not know, I used to live in North Las Vegas, and I only stayed there for maybe 2.5 months just to get to know family members and see how they were. But I realized they wasn't for me, so I moved on and left and came back here. But I know that in the city of North Las Vegas, that was where I was supposed to be planted, but I couldn't be planted there because there was just so much stuff going on out there. Like, there was no way I could have been with that family and been in one piece with myself and been able to really get grounded or founded in anything, because I had to always watch my back, had to always watch what I was doing, where I was going, make sure nobody was, trying to set me up or plot anything against me. And I just feel like now, since I'm 24 years old, and I know better and I'm doing better, I need to go ahead and make those proper steps, because I realize that a lot of people in life nowadays are really jealous and bitter and mad and upset because they're not where they want to be in life. And when they see somebody alongside of them that's reaching for that, they want to stop them, they want to cut them down and cut them off and stuff. And I've just realized that I'm not going to be a bitter Betty at 25, 26, 27, or any point of my life, because the way that my life pans out is from my own doing and not anybody else's. And I think it's just best for me to just really go ahead and pursue what I know is the right thing to pursue, so that I can be where I need to be and so that I can go where I need to go in life, because it's gotten to a point where I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of not being happy, not just with myself, but with life in general. And I feel like if I were to just go out there and pursue what I'm supposed to, then the man and the kids will always will come to me. And I realize now in my life that in different situations I've had with different men, I could have had children because I've always wanted them, but I knew that I wanted better, because I never wanted to be a single mother, because I knew what it was like from watching my mom having to split finances between you and your child, and you not having to get stuff, them not getting stuff, just to make do and pay bills. And I just knew I didn't want to be in a predicament like that. And I knew that I wanted to get married before I even, had the kids. But it is what it is. And that's just how I really feel about it. So I hope you all like this video. Don't forget to like and leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.